You lie in bed at 3 a.m. Your body is exhausted, but your mind is running a marathon. You stare at the ceiling, calculating how many hours of sleep you will get if you fall asleep right now. You take a generic melatonin pill you bought at the supermarket. You wake up feeling like you were hit by a truck. Groggy, slow, unfocused. You blame your stress. You blame your workload. But the truth is much darker. Your sleep architecture is fundamentally broken. You're trying to shut down a high-performance engine by pouring sand in the gas tank. Most high achievers completely misunderstand sleep. They view it as an on and off switch. But human sleep is a complex neurochemical cascade. When you suffer from insomnia, frequent nighttime awakenings, or a racing mind, you do not have a generic sleep problem. You have a highly specific biological deficit. Taking heavy sedatives or cheap melatonin just masks the symptom while destroying your natural sleep drive. In the next few minutes, we are going to break down 7 clinical, highly targeted supplements that actually repair your sleep architecture. We will decode the exact amino acid that drops your core temperature, the bark extract that blunts your 3 a.m. cortisol spikes, and the precise protocol to quiet a hyperactive nervous system. Write this down now. You cannot force sleep. You can only engineer the biological conditions for it. By the end of this protocol, you will know exactly how to diagnose your specific sleep failure and the exact compound required to fix it. Let us dissect the science of recovery. Glycine, the thermal regulator. We start with the foundation of deep sleep, core body temperature. You cannot enter slow-wave deep sleep if your core temperature is too high. This is a biological law. Many people suffer from poor sleep quality simply because their internal thermostat is stuck in the active daytime phase. Enter glycine. Glycine is an amino acid that acts as an inhibitory neurotransmitter in the central nervous system. But its most powerful function is thermal regulation. When you supplement with 3 grams of glycine before bed, it forces vasodilation in your extremities. It pushes the blood flow to your hands and feet, which rapidly cools down your core body temperature. By manually dropping your internal temperature, glycine fast-tracks your brain into the deepest stages of restorative sleep. It repairs your tissues. It cleanses your brain of metabolic waste. And unlike pharmaceutical sedatives, glycine does not alter your normal sleep architecture. You wake up feeling completely restored, without the lingering, heavy grogginess. It is the ultimate biological hack for core cooling. Next, we address the most common disease of the modern entrepreneur, the tired but wired syndrome. Your physical body is drained, but your brain is trapped in a state of hypervigilance. You cannot stop thinking about emails, problems, and future scenarios. This happens because your brain is locked in high-frequency beta waves. You need to shift into alpha waves to relax. L-Theanine is an amino acid naturally found in green tea leaves. It is a neurological brake pedal. When it crosses the blood-brain barrier, it actively promotes the generation of alpha brainwaves. It induces a state of wakeful relaxation. L-Theanine does not force you to sleep. It removes the friction preventing you from sleeping. Furthermore, if you are a high achiever consuming multiple coffees throughout the day, caffeine is lingering in your receptors long after the sun goes down. L-Theanine directly counteracts the residual stimulant effects of caffeine. It quiets the overactive mind, allowing your natural sleep mechanisms to take over smoothly. Magnolia bark, the cortisol killer. You fall asleep easily, but your eyes snap open at exactly 3 a.m. Your heart is racing. You feel a sudden surge of panic. This is not a random awakening. This is a nocturnal cortisol misfire. Cortisol is your stress hormone. It is supposed to peak in the morning to wake you up. But chronic stress, poor diet, and adrenal fatigue cause cortisol to spike in the middle of the night. When cortisol spikes, your brain interprets it as an emergency. It wakes you up to fight a predator that does not exist. To fix this, you need magnolia bark extract. Magnolia bark has been used in clinical protocols because it is loaded with bioactive compounds called hinokiol and magnolol. These compounds act as powerful modulators of the adrenal system. They actively suppress adrenaline and blunt the nocturnal cortisol spike. By keeping your stress hormones flatlined during the night, magnolia bark prevents those middle-of-the-night awakenings. It acts as an anti-inflammatory shield for your brain, keeping you locked in the sleep cycle until morning. Valerian and hops, sleep pressure synergy. As you age, or as you push your body to the absolute limit, your natural sleep drive begins to weaken. Sleep drive is dictated by a molecule called adenosine. The longer you are awake, the more adenosine builds up in your brain, creating sleep pressure. But high-stress lifestyles severely disrupt this mechanism. When your natural sleep pressure is weak, you need to mimic it biologically. This is where the synergy of valerian root and hops comes into play. Taking them separately yields mild results, but clinically combining them creates a powerful, synergistic sedative effect. This is nature's heavy artillery for a weakened nervous system. This herbal combination interacts with the GABA receptors in your brain. GABA is the primary inhibitory neurotransmitter. It shuts down central nervous system activity. Valerian and hops mimic the natural accumulation of adenosine, forcing the brain to recognize that it is time to shut down. However, this synergy is potent. It can induce incredibly vivid dreams and acts as a strong muscle relaxant. It is designed for those who physically cannot get their body to surrender to rest. Jujube, the burnout antidote. Severe burnout damages your biology in unique ways. It creates a state of systemic inflammation and nervous system exhaustion. You feel physically hot, irritable, and completely incapable of winding down. Traditional medicine identifies this as a lack of cooling energy. Modern science identifies it as chronic sympathetic dominance. Jujube extract is a highly specific intervention for burnout-induced insomnia. It possesses unique sedative and neuroprotective properties that specifically target the emotional and physical heat generated by extreme stress. It contains flavonoids and saponins that calm the mind while simultaneously lowering systemic bodily tension. If your insomnia is paired with night sweats, severe anxiety, or hormonal fluctuations, Jujube provides the biological cooling effect required to bring your nervous system back to baseline. Bioactive folate, neurological stillness. You're lying in bed ready to sleep, but you feel an unbearable crawling sensation in your legs. You have an overwhelming urge to move. This is restless leg syndrome, and it completely obliterates your sleep architecture. Most people ignore this or assume it is a muscle cramp. It is not. It is a neurological misfire often linked to dopamine synthesis and methylation pathways. To fix this, you must look at vitamin B9, specifically in the form of bioactive folate. Do not buy synthetic folic acid. It is cheap, and your body struggles to convert it. You need L-methylfolate. Bioactive folate is a critical cofactor in the synthesis of neurotransmitters, including dopamine, serotonin, and melatonin. By repairing the methylation process, bioactive folate calms the erratic nerve signals causing the restless sensations. It gives your body the raw materials required to produce natural melatonin, ensuring a smooth transition into sleep. 5-HTP, the serotonin pathway. Finally, we must address the architecture rebuilder. Melatonin is the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. But taking massive doses of exogenous melatonin shuts down your brain's natural production. You become dependent on a pill. Instead of treating the end of the chain, you must fuel the beginning. Enter 5-HTP. 5-hydroxytryptophan is the direct chemical precursor to serotonin. Your body takes 5-HTP, converts it into serotonin to stabilize your mood and anxiety, and then seamlessly converts that serotonin into natural melatonin when darkness hits. By supplementing with 5-HTP, you are feeding the exact biological pathway your brain uses to construct sleep. It dramatically improves sleep onset and enhances the density of your deep sleep stages. However, because it directly manipulates serotonin, it must be used with precision and never combined with prescription SSRI medications. Generic sleep advice fails because it assumes all insomnia is the same. It is not. Human performance requires targeted interventions. You must identify your specific failure point. Are you waking up at 3 a.m.? Your cortisol is broken. Target it with magnolia bark. Is your mind racing at midnight? Your alpha waves are depleted. Target them with L-Theanine. Stop treating your exhaustion with toxic, over-the-counter sedatives that ruin your cognitive capacity the next day. Rebuild your sleep architecture using clinical biology. If you want to stop operating at 50% capacity and master your human performance, subscribe to the channel. We translate the complex clinical science so you can dominate your reality. See you in the next protocol.